Ya iyo we hamu onyanyo ndumuhunu ekele tunigi yo otito sorogi yo ya iyo we hamu onyanyo ndumuhunu ekele tunigi yo makanti mozindi kere otito sorogi yo. How can we uncover the mass if we don't know who we are? The life that we live so scarred got me crawling on my knees in the dark. Oh.
What up, though? It's your boy DJ Double OG. It's Double OG Radio. And this weekend, just like every weekend, man, I try to bring through some talented brothers, not just anybody, but you got to be talented. And today we got somebody in the building, and I want them to introduce themselves to the Twin Cities. What's your name, man? And let the people know where you're from.
One and only Savitty, man. Savitty, born and raised St. Paul. Shit, Savitty. That's the name, man.
Savitty in the building.
Yeah.
That's right, St. Paul representative for sure. The question I ask every artist right off the bat is where you from, what's your name, and how you get started in this music game. So I want to ask you your very first time rhyming. Your very first time rhyming, not the very first song you ever made, but the very first time that you rhymed and you was like, I like this.
Man, that go way back to the Ron DMC days. The very first time was like, when I first acknowledged Ron DMC, shit, excuse my language. That's gonna be a hard one, man. I'm gonna try to keep it as clear as I can.
Okay.
But the very first time was, Ron DMC days, discovering them. As that's my era.
Now you saying Run DMC, right?
Yeah, Run DMC.
Okay, it sounded like you were saying Ron DMC.
I was at first.
I'm like, Ron, who was
Run
that?
DMC, man.
Okay.
That was my era with it, just seeing them. And that's the first that I discovered that a group of people could be so cool, so fresh. Of course, then I wanted to be like them, so you go from Run DMC to the LL Cool J's and Fat Boys and stuff like that. Then it escalated as I got older, to the NWAs and everything like that. So, yeah, Run DMC days, man.
Okay.
You couldn't hearing them,
So once you heard them, then you was like, okay.
Right,
okay,
right.
That's what's up.
That's the first time that I acknowledged, just something so dope.
So what song was it? What song did you hear from Run DMC that made you be like, what is this?
It's tricky,
It's tricky, okay.
Yeah, know that. All the hitters, man, even the Christmas songs, man, that they did.
Glad to hear you say Run DMC. Now, when was the first time you picked up the microphone and said, you know what, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna make some music, I'm gonna really rap?
Like I said, the first time that I acknowledged it was, from Run DMC, some that I saw they was just so dope. Everybody wanted to be like that. A group of people so cool, I'm like, man, I think I want to rock like that. But then, the first time that I actually, and nobody actually know this story, but the first time I actually decided to do it was because of, the things I was going through. I had, a lot of things going on, and I'm actually writing a book about it, all that life stories, situations. But my pain had actually, converted my pain into my lyrics, so I had something to say for myself.
Right.
The times I was going through these situations, and I used to just start busting, to myself, just rapping, during situations when nobody would listen, I was releasing my pain, and I was freestyling it. And so my pain was really the first time that really I thought that I could really do it. Because when I was freestyling my pain out, I was like, I'm pretty dope at this.
Right.
I got good. So, that was when I first said, like, okay, maybe I could sit down and really write something or create these songs. And then that's exactly what I did. So my pain did that.
So let me ask you this. Who was the first person to ever encourage you to keep doing this music thing? Who was your person that said, Savitty, you got it. Savitty, you got it.
Oh, like far as
somebody that you let listen to your music and they was like encouraging
man,
you to keep
I'm
it
gonna keep it real. Everybody did. Okay. Growing up in the streets, man. Music was always there. Even the hustling on the block, you know, we was having ciphers on the block and rapping at the same time as we was hustling, and I was always the best one. You know, while we just on the block doing what we do, and they was always just, you know, cheering me on. So basically, everybody was just telling me like, man, you dope, do that, push that, you could be that.
Okay.
You know.
And right on the same subject, who was your first hater?
My first hater?
Your first hater. Do you remember your first hater?
I ain't calling out no names, but
you can call them out.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna do that. What they gonna do?
Hey, you know, I'm gonna keep it real. I had a lot of them.
Okay.
You know, I ain't gonna call their names out, but I had a lot of them, man. As I still do now, as we all do in some area that we whatever we do. But it was a lot of them. It wasn't really who was my first one. It's hard to tell because it was. I ain't gonna front, man. It was so many of them. You know, as they do now.
Now I gotta make a confession to you, right?
Right.
I seen a video that you did on Facebook maybe a year and a half ago, right? But you was coming out the room freestyling, and you had said something so hard that I didn't know who you were, but I just seen the video, and my nephew liked it. Tone, shout out to Big Tone, shout out to Big 21, shout out to Antonio.
Yeah.
He had liked it, and I seen it, you know, when it popped up on my thing, and I liked it, and I shared it, and I commented on it in the whole nine, and you know. You was like, you probably didn't know who I was, so you know what I'm saying? You was just like, okay, somebody sharing my stuff, that's what's up. But when I shared it, I didn't know who you were. Fast forward, it's a funny situation. Fast forward to just this summer, I you know, my sister, I got an older sister, shout out to Scooby, shout out to Nita, but that's my baby.
Shout out Scooby.
But that's my older sister, and to come to find out, that's your older sister too.
Yeah.
And we found out my sister got
we got the same sister.
17 brothers and sisters. My sister the oldest out of all of them. Out of me and mine and out of her dad's side.
Too.
She the oldest, right? So she got 17 brothers and sisters. So she kept telling me about her brother name. I ain't gonna say your real name, but she kept telling me your name, and she like, this, I got a brother named Woo Woo, and he rap. And I'm like, okay. And then I saw you, and when I saw you at, I think it was at my dad's funeral. R.I.P. to my dad. But when I saw you, recently, when I saw you, it brought me back to that video. I'm like, oh, he is super hard. And like, I don't think you know that.
Is there a particular line that you?
It was the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
Like, I'm finna pull it up right now.
Fucked up situation. This how it happened, March 11th, it was my birthday. Better known as my first day, it ended up as my worst day. So I started off at the mall with my nigga Blue Allen. We fresh to death, stopped at the bar for Long Island. He had one, but I had a couple just to start me off. He had weed, I hit it a couple just to make me cough. Then we was off to another mission when I seen this mysterious girl looking like she was wishing for dick licking. So my approach was obvious that I had an addiction for pretty women that wanted to make the right decision. I told her my name, she told me hers, and I got the number that skirted off the motherfucking curb. Nigga, that's my style. Back to the house so we can get sprayed up. Cologne in my pores, Patron in my pimp cup before shit. Moments later, I caught the bitch I met. Should've been more careful, but I never thought that I regret. So they found me guilty as charged. Mama, help me, can you get me away from the situation that I'm in too deep? I'm in denial, I can't believe that I did it. I won't admit it, I'm panicking, I cannot sleep. I'm seeing visions of all the things that I did. I asked the Lord to forgive me, help me change my life. Without nobody to follow me with the misery, standing behind my shadow, trying to get in my mind. Now, I call a bitch up on the phone so I could get in her thong, beat it up and get gone. That's how I do it. She picked it up and said, what's up? I said, I'm the nigga you met, but she already knew it. So fuck all that bullshit, ain't no time for me to waste. So I asked her to come over so I could skeet up in her face. She said, come on. 20 minutes later, I was gone. Walking up to her doorstep with my motherfucking chrome. I told her to let me in, she opened it up. She looked fly, sweeter than sweet potato pie, and pretty brown eyes with caramel skin thighs. What a surprise, the way that I rushed. Fucked her automatically, can help, but I started to bust. Then she got mad, I started to cuss as if I wasn't shit. That's just too bad, you ain't my wife, you just a stank bitch. So I was ready to go, gotta get the party started. So as I was grabbing my coat, that bitch grabbed my throat. So I'm thinking to myself, uh-oh. I grabbed her immediately and threw her on the floor. Then I walked to the door, but all of a sudden my heater fell out my pocket. She picked it up and she cocked it and told me that she'd pop it. So I thought about it, then rushed the bitch. With a blade in my other pocket, I grabbed it and cut the bitch. We staggered and stumbling. 5 minutes till lasted, we wrestled, and all I heard was, "You motherfucking bastard! Get off me, bastard! Ah, stop!" Let go of the gun, you gonna shoot yourself. Pow! Pow! Just like I said, the bitch shot herself. Should I worry about myself? Get rid of the evidence before I left, that's what I did.
Oh, that one right there, that video.
This video where you coming through the door with the
That's
Lokes
the one
on.
right there.
This the video that I saw.
That's the one.
That
I still
made
ain't
me
do
go
nothing with that
crazy.
song yet either.
You ain't what?
I ain't never lay that. I ain't never lay that.
Man, that's probably one of the hardest songs, the hardest flows.
Storytelling, yeah.
Yeah, that I heard in a long time. And you telling a real story. So when I seen that video pop up, and I'm gonna post it online, make sure you check me out online, DJ00G. I'm gonna post the video so y'all can see it. That's what made me know that you ain't just doing it, but you actually got talent now. It's hard coming from the streets.
Yeah, man.
And you mentioned being broke and homeless and struggling and grinding. Tell us a little bit about your upcoming in the streets, you know what I'm saying, in East St. Paul Street.
Well, you said I can't cuss on this show, but I'm gonna just say it was way effed up.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? No, it was hard, man. You know, I was the black sheep, you know, of the family. So, you know, I'm gonna keep it all the way 100. So if you could just imagine and take it from there, along with the streets, just, you know, homeless and stuff. I'm gonna say most of, you know, the stuff I'm writing a book on my life story called King of Survival. And but, you know, just to give you something, man, it was just being homeless and having no choice but to, you know, run with the gang and, you know, my whole family, rolling 60s Crips. And
neighborhood,
you know,
shout out, what up,
you know it.
Yep, neighborhood.
But you know, yeah, it's just like getting born into a family full of that, for one.
Yeah.
And then just, you know, both sides, dad's side, mom's side, and then along with just being homeless and kicked out on the streets and neglected and all this other horrible stuff that I just don't want to say right now.
Right.
You know, all that played a part of just, you know, it's either you give up or you keep striving, you know.
Is that where you get survival from?
Yeah.
Because I know you see, I see you on YouTube. Is that Survival Tribe 77?
Yeah, well, see,
7?
Savitty means survival tribe.
Savitty means survival
Savitty means
tribe.
survival tribe. So stop calling me Vitty. I don't like when people call me that, because Vitty don't mean nothing. You know, survival. Savitty's my spirit name.
Okay.
And you know, it means survival tribe, and it's just it's a whole deep story about that. You know, I don't really go into it, but it's spiritual. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it mean, man. And I wear it with honor. I wear it high on my chest. You know, that's why I don't like that Vitty. That Vitty, you know, stop that Vitty. You know what I'm saying?
Savitty.
But yeah, Savitty, and that's my whole everything. I wish I can go deeper about that. I don't want to right now. It's in the book. Yeah. But yeah, that's everything to me.
And the reason why I'm asking you that is because a lot of times, and you know, other than music, this real life, and we all go through real life. You know what I'm saying? And we done all been, well, I don't know, I ain't gonna say we all been in prison, but I done been in prison. I done been broke. I done been homeless. I done been in the streets. I done been hustling. I done did all of that. And real life comes along and knocks you on your butt. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times. And for somebody to promote being a survivor, just lets me know that they done been through some stuff. And you surviving and you still out
My
here.
book is called King of Survival too.
Yeah, so
Not saying I'm the
doing
top of the line. You know, we all got these horrible stories that
Yeah.
we made it through. But yeah, it's called King of Survival.
And that's the point. A lot of us got stories that we, you know, when my father passed away recently, it just revealed something to me, like old school people don't tell nothing. You know what I'm saying? Older people don't tell the stories that they done been through, and they don't talk about all the stuff they done been through. And a lot of us don't, and a lot of us been through so much in our lives that it affects everything that we do. You know what I'm saying? So for you to put survival out there, I just want people that are also going through situations in their life to cling on to your story, try to find out a little bit more about you when the book drop, maybe read the book, because some of the things that I know just from secondhand stories about you, it's amazing that you standing here right now. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to give you some love and shout out about that. Now let's get back into this music.
I appreciate that, man.
you said you was on the block. You was rapping better than everybody else, and I got to bring up this St. Paul legend because he's one of my best friends in the world. You know Shotty Boo? I know you know Shotty Boo. Do you got a rap story about?
Oh yeah,
everybody
I got plenty of them.
stories.
I got plenty of them.
So I want to hear a story, and then we're gonna get into your music because you got some music coming out, Twin City.
Definitely.
So we're gonna get into that. But before that, I just want everybody in St. Paul to get a Shotty Boo story. Cause that boy Shotty Boo was a fool.
Yeah, he was. Man, Shotty Boo.
Rest in peace. Boy.
That was my guy, man. You know, he actually, when he passed, he called me a day, like it was the day before, and he never really, you know, we was always tight, but you know, he never, you know, when people grow apart, you see each other, you still love them, but it was a weird call, and you know, he was saying his goodbyes. He done told me stories about, man, hold on, there's so many. Let me just slow down and just jump into one. Because, he was, for one, I just wanted to share real quick. He was telling me, he was like, man, when I was in a coma, you know, I was going up the escalators, man, in the light. And he was describing, that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
then he called me on the phone, and it was a weird call. I was like, what's going on with you? You know, he was like, nothing, man. I just want to tap in, man, say I love you, man, and blah blah. And you know, then when he passed, I was like, oh, he was like saying goodbye.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he probably did that to a lot of other people. But yeah, he gave me that call. Yeah. And you know, a Shotty Boo story, man. Like, cause I went to Battle Creek with him on the east side. Okay. You know, and for one, he was the fastest runner. Hey, for him to be one of the biggest people, don't race him.
Yeah.
You know, he was
especially when he was young.
Yeah, he was one of the fastest runners. And then, you know, I remember like he was fighting this other dude in the hall, and they was both like, one of them punched a brick in, punched a hole in a brick wall. Man, he was like an animal fighting this dude. Bricks was flying.
They punching bricks.
Hey, bricks was flying out of walls, man. I was cracking jokes for days. But just in the cipher, every time, you know, the principals and the administrators, they used to get tired of me and Shotty Boo, man. They used to write us up, telling us to go to class, because we used to be in that hallway just tearing it up. Battles of the beasts, man. And, you know, we was always neck to neck. But back then, I always, you know, he was always the best. You know, he was always better. And I just salute him for that. You know, he always thought I was nice. But I thought he was like the better one, man.
The best of all time.
Yeah, he was,
straight
man.
Straight out of St. Paul.
Straight out of St. Paul.
Yeah, I had Face G. I know you know Face G. I had Face G in the building, and he gave me the same thing.
Crazy.
And yeah, man, I was just telling him, like, you would get in the car with Shotty, you don't even need no radio. Like, he would be the radio.
He just gonna bust.
He just
the
gonna
whole
flow
way.
The whole time, 24
Shout
hours, just keep
Boo,
rapping. Man. And I was telling about him and Papa, so it's just good to hear other St. Paul legends. We gotta represent our own legends, you know what I'm saying, to keep their names going. And I'm gonna forever do that for Shotty, because that's my guy.
And I'm just real sad that I never, you know, a lot of us legends and the GOATs out here, we never do songs with each other.
Well, you know,
it's like we always talk about it, and me and Shotty was one of the ones that talked about it, but he passed before we got it done.
Yeah. Plus, you know, you got to know people too. Like, these streets is crazy. Shotty was in the streets. He was a BSer. Okay, we ain't gonna say it, but he throw you off, send you off. He scam you. He was doing all of that at the same time. And so, you know, with Shotty, it's like you'll mess with him, but then he'll do something like, man, cuz I gotta leave you alone, cuz you tripping, cuz
man.
I was just going about my business. And then you'll see him again, and it's all good, cuz he ain't gonna do nothing crazy. He just be doing the most sometimes.
You know, one thing I liked most about him was his voice, because you know, when you do music, you gotta have, I call it the 4 basic food groups. You know, you gotta have the beat, the voice, the personality, like, and the attitude, the energy.
Right.
He had that voice.
Right.
You know, that his voice, whether what he said or not, his voice he won.
Yeah, he was dope.
Right
okay.
there.
Now you got some new music out, a new song out. You got the jacket. If you want to show, you got the scan the QR code on the jacket. You got the scan QR on the back. The name of the song is Twin City. What inspired this song?
Twin City. You know, SHIT. What inspired it was just I'm trying to put the city on the map. You know, it's like I've been doing this, man, but you know, some things was in the way. I was going to jail off my whole life, off and on, where I really never had a chance to press the gas just really get focused, man, and do it, you know. So now it's just it's time. So what inspired it was I'm trying to put the city on the map. You know, I love my city. I know that it'll be an anthem where it'll just go, because everybody who represents the city, just like if I was from ATL, I would call it Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? So that was the first thing I want to do, man, is grab my city, you know, let them rock with me. They already rock with me in the hood, and, you know, I'm respected in that way, but can y'all all respect me musically and we do this together?
Right.
You know?
So the same in the song is Twin City. We're going to get into it, then come back after we listen to it, and we're going to talk more. It's your boy DJ Double OG. We got Savitty in the building. It's Double OG Radio. Let's go.
Jungle, keep that lighter on me. I hustle just to get it back, now run up on me. You better mind your business and I put that on me. Engraved in my city, ain't no fear that I bleed. I'm a nigga with an attitude and I'ma act a fool. Slide through my hood to gather up my troops. 10,000 many Lexus where they find your shoes. And I don't love a bitch because them hoes ain't true.
Better not get off on Lexington with that bullshit. St. Paul, MN, cell beside is the bullpit. Shout out to the Forktown generals that I fuck with. Banging in your speakers, you feeling this Twin City shit. I'm gonna get the paper and flip it to a higher bid. From all the collateral that I'm charging up on a bitch. I done break bread with a nigga setting fire to the bridge. I'ma throw my bait with a shark, the only way I fish. My only motive is to get it high, living to invest it in myself and not a stinking ass bitch. That ain't what Magic Down Rhyme would've did. I specialize in the game, inspired by the real pants, right?
I'm raised in the jungle, keep that lighter on me. I hustle just to get it back, now run up on me. You better mind your business and I put that on me. Engraved in my city, ain't no fear that I bleed. I'm a nigga with an attitude and I'ma act a fool. Slide through my hood to gather up my troops. 10,000 many Lexus where they find your shoes. And I don't love a bitch because them hoes ain't true.
The Twin Cities on the map, from St. Paul to murder rap. And we gon' tear this motherfucker down when it come to that. Just to get attention that we need it, we gon' build it back. We got ammunition for police that think we won't react. It's cold outside, I'm born and raised where the snow is at. I'll put a ski mask over my face before a COVID mask. And look a piggy in the eye before I blow his ass. They never thought the making of a beast will be the aftermath. I got a bad bitch that got 2 eyes behind my back, and she gon' press the nail, she keep the hammer in the Louis bag. I'm detrimental to these niggas trying to hold me back. I'm standing on the pavement real stiff in my Seattle hash.
I'm raised in the jungle, keep that lighter on me. I hustle just to get it back, now run up on me. You better mind your business and I put that on me. Engraved in my city, ain't no fear that I bleed. I'm a nigga with an attitude and I'ma act a fool. Slide through my hood to gather up my troops. 10,000 many Lexus where they find your shoes. And I don't love a bitch because them hoes ain't true.
A lot of fake niggas be hating to face reality, cause they ain't really living up to who they supposed to be. They got no vision cause they got no open eyes to see. Investing in the business to elevate, they hustle off the street. Been doing this, a real Minnesota veteran. Making it thunder, I'm your neighborhood's weatherman. Got something heavy that'll make you niggas overstand. The pressure from the thump got me walking around with a bruised hand. Don't wear no cape cause I'm the real black Superman. And I don't save nothing but faces in a rubber band. The only way you gon' survive in the devil's land. He tried to extend me his arm but I don't shake hands.
I'm raised in the jungle, keep that lighter on me. I hustle just to get it back, now run up on me. You better mind your business and I put that on me. Engraved in my city, ain't no fear that I bleed. I'm a nigga with an attitude and I'ma act a fool. Slide through my hood to gather up my troops. 10,000 many Lexus where they find your shoes. And I don't love a bitch because them hoes ain't true. I'm raised in the jungle, keep that lighter on me. I hustle just to get it back, now run up on me. You better mind your business and I put that on me. Engraved in my city, ain't no fear that I bleed. I'm a nigga with an attitude and I'ma act a fool. Slide through my hood to gather up my troops. 10,000 many Lexus where they find your shoes. And I don't love a bitch because them hoes ain't true.
No beans.
Twin City-ish. Let's get into that song, man. You did it for the city.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Something to represent the Twin Cities area. Let's break down what you were saying while the song was playing. We was just talking, and you said a line where you say you don't shake hands with the devil, and I kind of want you to break down what that line means.
Well, you know, just as what it sounds like, you know, just don't, you know, break no bad deals and, you know, sell your soul and, you know, get mixed up into the wrong deals basically for money or some shit, you know, stuff like that. You know, a lot of people don't listen to the words I say. They just hear the beat and they like, oh, that's hard. And, you know, they don't really hear nothing else. But I really be wanting to highlight the facts that I say. Like there was a line when I said, a lot of fake people be, you know what I say, investing in the business, elevate the hustle off the street. You know, that part.
Okay.
Didn't nobody like really hear that part. You know, it's just like they got no vision because they got no open eyes to see. Investing in the business to elevate the hustle off the street. You know, it's just lines like that that I want to stand out more than anything else. But people just don't hear that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They just hear the beat hard, and you know,
And
I be
listen
really
to the
wanting to
hook.
hear.
Shout out to Scrap Nino for the hook.
Yeah.
Shout out to
Shout out
Scrap
to
Nino.
Scrap Nino, man. And we got some things coming too, some upcoming stuff. He's the real deal.
Now let me ask you this: how long you been doing music? You've been doing it for a minute. You ever signed to a record deal? I heard you kind of had a bad experience with some record deals in the St. Paul. You want to get into that? Just so other artists can know, you know what I'm saying? Because I know you said you was shaking hands with the devil, making a bad deal. Then you got a bad deal back in the day.
Exactly.
Which is why you learn from what you're doing. So
that.
you might want to tell somebody else out here.
Right. You know, man, we're, you know, back then I was a part of this, and I won't say no names and stuff like that, but I was a part of this group. They know who they is, you know, if they hear this, but I was a part of this group. We was almost, you know, there at the age when this was in 1990, like I think 1992 or something. So I've been rapping for a long time. And back in 1992, we was almost there. You know, we was having investors, man, and mansion meetings, riding, and they was picking me up in limousines and, you know, blowing up shows, logos, names on shirts. And they put my music out. You know, I had made a whole album for these people, and they put my music out. And one day, me and my girlfriend back in the day, we was walking into the store, to the record store. We was walking in Urban Lights, and we was just shopping for a regular CD or whatever, you know. And she seen our CD, our face, and on the cover and stuff. So she got geeked up like, oh, baby, look, it's us. You know what I'm saying? And we young. I'm like, I got geeked for a minute too, like, oh, that's dope. But see me, then I'm like, okay, let's make that call. We need some money. Wow. You know what I'm saying? And we talked, long story short, we talked to the dude, and he's like, oh, yeah, I got you, man. Meet me here at 7:30 or whatever. You know, we gonna pay you and figure this out, you know what I'm saying? And we moving forward. We own now. We in the stores now. You gonna get paid. And never saw him. Never got a penny. Then the homies from in LA is telling me, oh, I had a whole package dropped off at my door, a whole box full of your CDs, and they're telling me they got packages of my CDs getting shipped from here to LA and all these other places where, and I'm like, oh yeah, so and, you know, I know the dude who was doing it, you know, and so basically he was slanging my CD everywhere, shipping boxes, and I didn't see not one penny, you know, not one penny, and you know, his whole thing was, we was into like that story NWA, how that whole story with NWA was what we went through. Like that's why when I watched that movie, it was identical. Okay. They was trying to jack us out the music. I was the one that was wanting my money. It was my whole album, just with a couple features on there, and yeah, we got bamboozled, man.
So did you ever recoup any of the album or anything? You never got nothing?
No, because he had, you know, it was I was young and dumb and really didn't know about the business of it. Like, you know, just like every other story like this. Just like NWA, and and it was under his name, and I didn't even know that he had the copyrights, and still to this day that album is hidden like crazy. I wish I could pull it out right now and just resurface it, but I can't, because he owned it.
So that
I put my sweat and blood into that album too.
Yeah, that would kind of throw you off for real though. You know what I'm saying? Somebody stealing your music, your art firm, something you work hard for.
Man, I
then
swear.
they capitalizing. Like, how you go in the store and you see your song and you didn't know it was gonna be in the store?
Man, I didn't even know it. It took us by surprise, and first thing we got was happy, thinking that everything was good from there. But it ended up not. Didn't receive not one penny from that. So that's what I tell youngsters, man, or people who trying to do this, just to know what you're doing. And just speaking of record labels, like I think it is better to be independent. I got some record labels meetings coming up, but I don't even know about them, to be honest.
Right.
I went to Atlanta Records. They flew me out. They offered me a bad deal, and because I had won a contest, I got on, and then the record labels was reaching out to me, and then they had offered me something bad. Then I got these other labels coming up, that I got to go to, Jay-Z's label and all this. They gonna fly me to New York, and so I still got that coming up. But I'm just saying that to say, I don't even know if I want to deal with it.
Right.
Because
the difference, and what I tell people is, the difference between independent and major is somebody financing you versus you financing yourself, right? Mm-hmm. So if you get a label, they put down their resources, they know they got their plugs. It's a lot that goes into signing into a label, right?
Right.
And it might be beneficial. You know what I'm saying? If you making bank on your own, then you don't need the bank. But if you ain't making bank on your own, then you might want to go holler at the bank. But either way it goes, a record label is a bank. It's a loan. You know what I'm saying?
Right, and I ain't cool with loans, man.
They only give you the money until they get their money back. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Ain't nobody on earth just ever gave nobody $1 million.
Yeah.
When they say he signed for $1 million, no. He got a loan for $1 million that he has to pay back expeditiously. You understand what
And
I'm
so
saying?
it may be sweet, man, but it may be slower, independent, but everything's yours. You get to operate it how you want to operate it. So they may give you that push, throw you on TV and all this, but then you back in the hood, walking in convenience stores without nothing. I can't do that, because they already looking at me funny, acting sneaky.
Yeah.
So don't think I got nothing I ain't got, and try me. But
that's how it goes a lot of times, where you'll see all them stories all the time,
right,
man, from people getting jacked by record labels. So if you can do it independent, man, you can.
I'm doing just fine on my own. I did all this on my own, man, and it's working out pretty
now
good.
we got one more song. We got a couple more songs I want to get into you, but this next song that you got is called "Who We Are." You want to get into that and let people know what that one's about?
Yeah, it's called "Who Are We Really."
Who are we really? Okay, I'm sorry.
This song is really important, man. It taps into spirit, the spiritual world, man. Just about who are we? Because every time we go outside, we put on a mask, whether we want to admit it or not, whether it's for a negative reason or a good reason. Like if you go to a job interview, you're putting on a mask. You know what I'm saying? You better, and you go to court, you putting on a mask. You better, put on your best mask. Or
right.
you want to be in the street, or be somebody that you not in a negative way, you putting on a mask. So it's like, who are we really though? When we go home, and like how females take that bra off and really get that release, and they be like, they be comfortable at the crib. Who are you when you go home and really take that mask off? This song is really deep on that. Because every time we leave the house, we put on a mask, whether it's for the good or for a negative reason. So that's what that mean by, like, who are we really? Like, do we know, or like some of us know. I'm not talking about spiritually. I'm not calling nobody out spiritually, because a lot of us know who we are spiritually. But physically, every day, going outside, you walk down the hall, knock on the neighbor's door. If it's a female, you're gonna have a mask on. because you're gonna try to impress her.
Straight up.
So
Yeah,
who are we
live.
really?
Who are we really? This your boy DJ Double OG. We got Savitty in the building. Let's get into it.
I might have to.
How can we uncover the mass if we don't know who we are? The life that we live so scarred got me crawling on my knees in the dark. Oh. How can we live inside this world with no peace and love? Surrounded by the cool black heart, we fighting to survive, but it's hard.
How can we uncover the mask and face reality? If we can't identify ourselves through the tragedy, starving on your knees while you looking up to your master's seat, hoping that he feeds you the opportunities you can eat. And that's the setup state he provide for us on the street. Knowing we gon' all act the fool until we rake all the leaves. Until I bake the whole pie and give us all a piece. And I'ma hustle deep in these streets until my daughter eats. And I'ma hit Jezebel, call it adultery. That's the evil spirit in hell that's married to the beast. Before I wake, I pray the Lord to take me in my sleep. Before I live another day on earth without peace. Greatness I deliver from my minds. Created from the pressure that's gonna make my diamond shine. No curriculum from clemency, just envy in their eyes. You don't know who you are, so you hide behind the skies.
How can we uncover the mass if we don't know who we are? The life that we live so scarred got me crawling on my knees in the dark. Oh. How can we live inside this world with no peace and love? Surrounded by the cool black heart, we fighting to survive, but it's hard.
Who are we really to the people that we all know hate us? Are we just an illusion that mental minds made up? Are we really the thugs that resemble Darth Vader? Or are we the first or the last beast of the creator? I told him I'll pay him back when I get my weight up. Shout out to the marathon gritters getting their cake up. I used to walk the streets with my head down till my music made a sound telling me to pick my face up. Watch for them crooked snakes, they slither in your blind side. Cause they don't care about jeopardizing their own life. Knowing that they live in the light and they can't sleep at night. Fighting the odds and the proof to get exposed in the light. Sticking together for unity, stronger than the beast. Should need police in the streets just to develop peace. They use their strength and their knees, reason we can't breathe. Your spirit dark with no light, reason you can't see.
How can we uncover the mass if we don't know who we are? The life that we live so scarred got me crawling on my knees in the dark. Oh. How can we live inside this world with no peace and love? Surrounded by the cool black heart, we fighting to survive, but it's hard.
Oh, what up though? It's your boy DJ Double OG. That's Savitty with Who Are We Really?
Who are we really,
Who
man?
are we really? 651-313-5125. That's the number to know to get
Who are
involved with the
we
show.
really?
What up though? Shout out to
Do we know?
Scooby.
Do you know?
Yeah, I like that, man. That was a nice, smooth little vibe, man. And the message is
Appreciate it.
strong. You know what I'm saying? Who
Right.
really? Who are we? Because I feel that way too, man. A lot of times, everybody wear masks, especially like you said.
For real.
When you step out that door, you really, people really don't know who you really are.
Right.
A lot of times.
But yourself, when you go home, and you know your kids and the people at home, that your solid self.
Yeah, that's I used to say something, and I don't know if you agree with me. I'm probably sure you're not gonna agree with me on this one, but I'm gonna say it.
No, you never know. Shit.
I never.
Two great minds think alike.
I tell people all the time, I want everybody to go spend a year in the workhouse. Because
I don't agree. I don't agree with that.
No, but
I've been in there eating them bologna sandwiches 3 times a day.
As soon as you get in, they hit
Take
you
me
with
to
them
boot camp for a year.
Yeah, but the reason why I say that is because the workhouse way worse than in prison.
It is, man, torture.
But when you get a chance to really strip everything that you know, you know what I'm saying? When you in that cell, you really get a chance to get to know who you really are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or you get a chance to become who you really want to be, because when you in jail with a whole bunch of other dudes and ain't nobody got your strap, ain't nobody got their homies. I mean, they got their homies in there, but ain't nobody got the stuff that make us something on the outside. You know what I'm saying? The clothes, the cars, the shoes. all that stripped away when you in prison. Everybody got the same socks, same drawers,
The same hands,
jumper.
you know what I'm saying?
It's all about
all that.
like, can you fight your way out of it? But it also makes you realize who you really are and who the people around you really are. You understand what I'm saying? Because when you go to prison, you find out who really loves you, who really supports you, who really cared for you, who really there for you. And that's why I kind of say I wish everybody can go just to find out who they really are. But you ain't really got to go to jail to find that out. The only reason I say jail is because it strips everything from you. And that's the only time.
And I feel you on that. You know, I
you
see
could just be
exactly
just
what you're
you.
trying to say with that.
No,
And,
go ahead.
no, I feel exactly what you're trying to say with that. You know, it's just funny with the jail thing, but I see what you're saying. It strips you down to just you having nothing but you. You know, you and your conscious mind, and that's why I say I'm not confronting people like, who are you really with spiritually? You know that's disrespectful, and I don't get down like that. So you know, I'm not gonna say you don't know who you are spiritually, but like physically every day, you know, who are you fronting with today? You know what I'm saying? And like I said, it's so deep of a message with that, because it could be in a good way. A lot of people run to the defense side like, man, I know who I am, and I ain't no wannabe. I'm really with this, or I'm this and that, or no. But it could be in a positive way too, because when you getting ready for court, you putting on so much of a mask for court that you cut your hair, and you don't want to go in front of the judge with braids on and this and that. So many people cut their hair and all that. Like, why can't you show up there how you want to look?
Right.
You know, and still, you know, but you can't. Or like with a job interview, you know, or when you talk business on the phone, you everybody change their voice like to be all proper. Like yeah, okay, sir. Okay, I got you. Thank you. Like, why you got to do that? I mean, it gets as deep as that. I'm not saying be all ghetto and crazy on the phone, but it is.
Everybody
who are you? Like
on,
you putting that mask on.
Yeah,
That's what that is.
Especially black folks.
Even me, I do it like I just got the business card one day. Like yeah, okay, sounds good, man. Thank you. You know, just get myself together because it was an important call I got. Man, it's crazy. The reason why it's so important though, at all, because you know sometimes it's necessary to put on those masks for court and a job interview, like I said. But the reason why it's so important is some people lose track of who they really are by doing that, and then they stay in that phase. They may stay in that phase, and you know I can hop in there that I could put on a mask for a job interview and take it right off and walk outside, get in the car, and be me outside.
Right.
But some people gotta wait till they go home to take that mask off.
And taking that mask off, you know, I kind of going through that in my personal life, because I feel like, why you can't just be you 24 hours a day? Why do I gotta put that mask on to go get a job? You know what I'm saying? Why can't the job accept who I am?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And just me. You know what I'm saying? Why I gotta be like this, or why I gotta act like them? You know, my mother, rest in peace. My mother, she was a masker for real when you say that, because everything had to be the way. No disrespect, but when you black growing up, everything white people do when I was a kid was the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And you wanted to do it like the white folks. You wanted to live like the white folks. You
Right.
wanted to eat, wear the
Right.
white, drive the cars, like live in the suburbs like the
Right.
white folks. Everything, and then. You know, I always thought to myself, like, well, that's not really how I live. That's not who I
Right.
really am. But I gotta act like this just to get
that.
I don't really know if I want it. But in America, it's like, if you don't get that, then this your other option. It's like, you can eat dog food or you can eat steak. What you gonna eat? You know what I'm saying? You gotta put that mask on to eat the steak.
Exactly.
Otherwise, you're just gonna be eating dog food with everybody else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Just like to keep up with the cryptocurrency, the all that technology and the invisible money that we have to follow up with, because you know it's like you may get a headache with that and don't want to do it and read into the computers and all this network, how everything's about the internet and social media, you know. Because it's all a different lane. You may think that that's a bunch of BS, but guess what? We got to keep up with that. You know, because the original dollar and all that, we used to hustling off the streets for that, but they switching gears. So we got to guess what we got to do. We got to put on the mask with that. The mental mask, I guess, that's a different kind of mask. I don't want to go too deep, man. Get your radio station shut down, but we got to put on that mental mask and roll with that to learn what they know about all that.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, that's true. And it ain't too deep. It's real life. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We all wear masks every day. So who are we really? That was a good song.
Who are
man.
we really, man?
It's your boy
that's
DJ
out on
OG.
just to say Twin Cityness and Who Are We Really are out on all store platforms right now. Every single one of them. You can also now use it on what's that Shazam stuff?
Shazam.
Yeah, it's some stuff I ain't even heard of, man. And I heard of Shazam, but it's on everything, man.
SAVITTY. You could go on your Apple phone and go into Apple Music. SAVITTY, and you can search it. I was just looking it up yesterday. You can go stream that. Now, those were the two songs.
In the
Twin
video,
City-ish.
sorry to cut you off. The video's out too. The Twin Cityness, one of the biggest video actually, is out now. It just got released 4 weeks ago. Go get that. It's on YouTube right now. Just type in either my name SAVITTY or Twin City SHIT and go check out that video and share.
Yeah, shout out to Scooby once again, man. I'm sorry I couldn't get you on the phone, but something was going on. You could try back again. We call in there. But
I know Big
yeah,
Sis want to pat me on the back, man. I love her, man. I love her. She's a lot of help to me with this.
My sister is a truth, man. That's like my mom. She in the video. She in the video looking all, I don't know. A lot of people don't know, but Scooby is probably more gangster than a lot of gangsters.
Man, yeah, hey, she threw in the,
because
I had the Jabberwocky masks around, the blue and the black, where she grabbed one fast, like, hey, that's for me.
She like, I'm with it, I'm there, who with me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love her, man. Shout out to Scooby, man. That's
Shout
crazy.
out to Scooby,
but
man.
yeah, it's a small world here in St. Paul. Like I said, we got Savitty in the building. Savitty, I'm sorry. It's not Savitty, it's Savitty.
Yeah,
but
Savitty.
don't say Savitty and don't say
Savitty and don't say Viddy. You
It's
punch in the mouth. I be wanting to punch people, man, but we
they
just
gotta
don't
learn
call
the
me
name.
Viddy.
Yeah, they gotta learn the name, man. Earlier when we was talking, you told me a story about the block, St. Paul streets, and somebody rolled up on you and they was trying to challenge you to a battle. And when they try to challenge you to the battle, they pulled up with some competition for you. But the competition wasn't the competition they thought it was. So tell the story a little bit and let's see how I get down.
Listen, this is one of my favorite stories to tell. I swear to God, like it's also one of the best compliments I ever got. So shout out to Glover, man. I'm putting you on blast. This dude named Glover said it, and he cool with me.
Glover.
I'm shouting him out because he was cool. He was one of the normal homies pulling up, talking his crap. We bust each other's chops all the time over there, and he pulled up. But so that's why I thought he knew, but it was one of the homies I ain't seen in a long time. He didn't even know that I had dropped that album. So this was, by the way, the album that I told you that the label had Jack took and all that. So he slid up. We was all on the block over there in front of the homie Big Rip's house. Shout out to Big Rip and the whole Fuller block over there.
Shout out to Fuller Block.
We was over there in Fuller, man, and we was all out there. Me, my cousin, 1,000 Watts, all of us. And he slid up like he was like, man, because every time people see me, they just like try to call me out and see who with the music who could top me and this and that. And he slid up like, man, hey, he's like, man, I got somebody that first thing he said, just chopping my balls off. He's like, man, I got somebody that you ain't effing with, man. He's like, man, look, everybody like, huh, like who? I'm like who? You know what I'm saying? And he's like, man, no, listen. He said, listen, I got somebody that you ain't effing with, bro. He's like, listen, he's like, you tight, cuz, you tight. He said, but you ain't effing with this dude. He said, man, I put my money on it. I was like, put your money up. Even the homies was like, man, put your money up.
Right.
Hey, man, what's so funny is he was serious. I almost thought it was a joke when I found out he was serious, right? He was like, man, he's like, no, watch. I'm looking for the song. He's going through it. He's like, I'm going to show you which song I want you to hear. He's flicking through it.
Right.
He's skipping he's skipping through it. And then he was like, he's like, man, you ready? You ready? Just doing all this pumping up stuff first, right? I mean, it was. That's why it's so dope of a story, because he was giving it a good intro, and then he was like, he was like, yeah, put your money where your mouth is. He pushed play, and you know, we all the homies, we all gathered around his car. He pushed play, and then he hops out and like listening to it bobbing his head. He's like, man, he's like, yeah, like what? You know, like, you hear this little cat right here, like what? And this was like 15 years ago, I say. You know, it was in 1992 was around that time. What was that like?
About 30 years ago.
Huh?
That was about 30 years ago.
You think?
Yeah, it's 2021, 91, that's 30 years, bro.
Damn. Hey, don't tell him I'm like 50 years up. Nah.
Right, and that's the thing.
It was so long ago, man. It was so long ago, man. So long ago. But then, you know,
it could have been 92 though. You might be thinking like maybe 2002 or something like that.
Probably 98 or something.
Yeah, because you ain't that old.
It was,
you know
probably
what I'm
like
saying?
90. Yeah, it was just
like
a long, man. I gotta, you know, I'm just now waking up the dead with this and effing the world up with it too. But no, yeah, he hopped out, amped up, man, and he was just so, and he was like, yeah. When he played it, he was bobbing his head like, man, we cracked up laughing right off top. And I ain't even say it first, the 1,000 Watt. Shout out to my cousin 1,000 Watt. He said, that's him. He's like, man, that's him, man. What are you talking about? hey,
so the whole time,
man,
he got somebody to beat you. And
look, he didn't even, but he was like, what you mean? He's like, Daddy, he said, that's you. Man, his face fell in a flow and he didn't even pick it back up.
Right.
He was like, so the dude he was bragging about betting against me on was me. You know, he pushed play, and this fool didn't even know that he was riding around the hood all day
listening to
me. Ain't that crazy? You know, he was listening to me the whole time.
I bet you he threw that CD out the window. Like,
hey,
man,
bro,
I don't want this no more.
Bro, I never got a compliment, and you know, I just took that as after we, you know, was chopping his balls off and joking about it, and you know, I really that whole day, like for 2 whole weeks, man, I thought about that when I left the block, and I took something from that.
Yeah,
I did, man. I took something from that, like I'm that cold, you know, I'm that nice with it, and people think I'm so nice with it that they can really pull up and do that.
Yeah.
Like you gonna bet your money that I'm better than myself? Go ahead.
Right.
I need that.
I'm
change.
gonna win either way it go. Right.
That was crazy, man.
Yeah,
so,
that
was the biggest. That was the dopest story and the biggest compliment that I got, you know, from that. Because
it's true. You know what I'm saying? That whole experience had to mean something because
he couldn't believe it, man.
Yeah.
He rolled off. He felt so dumb, but he was laughing, and because he was just riding up messing with me anyway. But he was serious about thinking that some, you know, he wanted me to just be like, he wanted what he was gonna play to rock me, just rock me, so the homies would be like, I don't know if he would slide up to embarrass me or confront me, but it went the other way.
That's a super funny story because a lot of times with rapping, and I said this before, when I was coming up, we not too much. That's why I'm like, I know what 92 because we around the same age. But when I was in the streets, it was corny almost to rap. Like your homies was like, my homies was clowning rappers. Like we would clown.
It was corny to rap?
Yeah, like when I was coming up with my homies.
Where you came from?
St. Paul, we was on the east side mostly though. But yeah, they was like, nah, you can't, you know what I'm saying? We was like, nah, we too busy getting money. We ain't got time for this rap music stuff. We ain't got time for that studio stuff. Okay, I feel you saying it like that. Yeah, I feel you. You finna bring me your music. I don't want to hear that. Let me get this pack off.
Right.
Let me get it out. Let me get a QP from you. You know what I'm saying? Don't be trying to play your music, Joe. Let me get this. So when I was in the streets, it was more of, we was just in the streets, man. Music was something we did for fun. We knew rappers, but we was looking at all the rappers that was around us like, we in St. Paul, y'all. You know what I'm saying? So hate was heavy. So when I hear that story, it just had to feel good because I know a lot of times people so quick to down you for what you do that he gave you, he was coming to down you, but ended up giving you more props than you probably like the biggest props in the story. You know what I'm saying?
You got it, yeah.
And a lot of times that's how it goes. And I wanted my audience to hear that story too, because it's true. Like if you out here and you making moves and you doing anything that you doing, it ain't even got to be music. Any avenue that you pursuing, and you got people around you that's not supporting you the way that you think that they should support you, or the way that you would support them. I just say keep it pushing, because you don't know, somebody else could be seeing what you doing and be inspired. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But so much attention goes to those that hate on us that we don't even see the other side of the story. Like, yeah, it's 5 haters over here laughing at your song, but it's 3 people that just heard your song and was like, okay, and there's one person that just heard your song and that might have changed their attitude or the way that they was feeling at that moment. Because a lot of times music can change everything about your situation. So if you're having a bad day, go home, turn some music on, play it real loud, and see if your attitude don't change. You know what I'm saying? That's how it is.
This
so
is a big influencer to the world.
yeah.
That's why, a lot of these kids is going crazy shooting people because, it's
of the
just
music.
Yeah, it's an influencer, man. That's why I like to, talk about something. And, I make reality rap, like who I am and where I came from with it. I like to get myself first, then I'll hop into versatility. And what I mean, like who I am, where I came from with it, I still don't rap. I never did rap about like I'm gonna just roll up and blow your head off it. I rap about street stuff. In reality, where I came from is all hood, because that's what it is. But then when I jump into my versatility lane, I clubs and storytelling. I'm really into storytelling now, like that. When I came out that closet door you was talking about in that video, storytelling with it and just different avenues. And I want to really give all my creativity as far as music to show that what my artistry really can do. Like I'm on some. Let me do a song with Lady Gaga. As strange as people, she got a unique style that's crazy. Like Missy Elliott, I don't care who you are, and people consider you weird or strange. Let me do a song with you.
Right.
Let me hop in your lane with it, and because I'm good with my versatility, the music is really in me. So I'm going to come at all angles with it.
Now, I like to have people come through that are really about what they say they about, right? And really about their life. And I like artists to come through because I like the growth in people. Right. And I like seeing them grow. And I like your music because I heard, of course you was coming, so I listened to everything that I could find on you before you got here. But I hear the flow, I hear the music, but also you can hear the realness behind the lyrics. Appreciate what I'm saying? And you can hear the encouragement to not just, it's not a glorification of it, because you posted something on your Facebook. Make sure you go to Savitty Michaela on Facebook. But you posted on your Facebook, and this is how long I've been following you. This was like maybe 6 months ago. And when I seen this, I tripped out. But it was like 22 mug shots. I don't know if you remember this post, and I don't want to bring up bad stuff. But you posted 22 mug shots, and it just showed like this is how much I changed. Braids, no braids, dreads, and I just seen
looking crazy in half of them, hair all out.
And it was like, you know what I'm saying? Like people take yearbooks. Your yearbook pictures was mug shots. And it ain't funny because
he's doing that to me right now.
It ain't funny because mugshots ain't nothing about jail funny. You know what I'm saying? But it was funny because you had 22 mugshots. Like you really was out here. I can't even look at the camera right now. Man. How could you make music? Like when did you have time to write these rhymes?
And see that I appreciate you saying that part, because that's my point of a lot of people, that's why they like, dang, I thought you'd have been made it. Like, you was dope. What happened? I thought you'd have been made it by now. And, I didn't really, that's what was holding me back, bro. I was in and out of jail my whole life. And I wasn't no big mafioso criminal, and otherwise I wouldn't be having so many. And I ain't snitching them many times. Somebody cracked out and said like that. They was like, "Dang, like what you?" They was like, "How many you been snitching your whole life? How you get in? How you keep going in and out and getting out?" They just cracking jokes.
That's how they do you.
No, it was anger. My anger from it's all in the story too, man. Of King of Survival. I was I'm trying to look for the worstest words. You know what I'm saying? As far as just explosive, man. And I took all that anger and getting kicked out of all St. Paul schools twice. You know, one attempted. You know, for the attempted. You know, all that just is the worst. It's the craziest stuff. And it was just back and forth stuff, and it just had to do with a lot of. I was just anger. You know, I'm trying to be careful what I touch on right now, but it was a lot of anger, bro. That's it. And so that's why I really couldn't. I wasn't a artist or made it signed long time ago, and because you know people ask me my whole life, you know, even the years back, like every year, like, dang, I thought you was that. I thought you was that when I was coming up during the mugshot season. I'm gonna call it the mugshot season. So they was just like, I thought you'd have been made by now. I thought you'd been made. That's all I ever heard. But they didn't. I didn't want to stop and be like, man, sit down. Let me explain to you why not. Because I was doing this. I was doing that. I ain't had time for that. But that's the reason why I was getting held back with that. And now, you know, I'm more focused with things. And now I'm just it's everything's a spiritual timing. I'm gonna just say that. You know what I'm saying? And now it's just taking off.
You just working on it.
It's going bananas. Yeah.
That's what's up.
He said a school year class reunion
this
thing,
boy
man.
had so many of them. It was ridiculous.
And look, yeah, like.
But the reason why I bring that up too, and what I want a lot of our listeners, anybody that's listening to this interview, to know, is that you can't give up, fam. You can't stop.
And look, you know, just real quick, I ain't even gonna front. That's what you talking about.
Yeah, we're gonna zoom in on it and I'm gonna post it up. This dude, he got the
and I just
the
showed
mugshot collage. He got the mugshot collage.
Hey, so but real quick, I had, cause I speak at schools, and I actually got to go speak to a school Wednesday. When's that? 4 days from now too, but. And I have blew that up on a billboard, so I just take that with me to the classrooms, and I show the youngsters, man. I show the people in the elementaries, the high schools, and stuff. After I do my speech, and I just do it. I use it as to inspire now, and I really use that, and that represents, you know, my name, my story, and I use it. When I first saw that, bro, I shedded a tear, you know, when the homie was like, you know, you could pull up your whole record, and when they first started doing that on mugshots.com, and when I had saw that, you know, because I'm not one to brag about I'm a gangster with this shit, you know, and when I saw mine, I cried, you know, I was at the crib, my girl was like, it'll be all right, straight up, it get deep, and so I use that now to inspire, you know, the nonprofit organizations. They use it as a platform. I've been the face of many things. I've been in the newspapers. I've been all around the state on that end of things with it, deep into the community with it. I won 2 awards from the state, all that behind them damn mugshots, because they just see the growth, man.
The growth,
you know, the growth of it all. So I just take all that ugly stuff and turn it into beauty.
Yeah, because we got a long life to live, man, and that's what I want to tell people. Like, the mistakes that we make define us, right? But they also don't have to box us in. And what I mean by that is, the worstest thing for a black man in America is to be a felon. That's the worstest thing for a black man, because it limits your abilities to provide for yourself, provide for your family. It limits your abilities to now you have to be creative with how I'm getting this money, right?
Right.
You can't just go to XYZ job, fill out an application, get the job, start working, go work 2 weeks, get a paycheck, come home, right? When you got that F on your report card, it's very, very hard to just do that. Just to go out here and get a job and live normal life. So now we got to be creative with how we going to live the rest of our lives, how we going to stay out of the prison, how we going to keep more F off our report card, and how we take care of ourselves. And then how we live, because a lot of people don't deal with the depression. And I'm glad that you said when you seen that, you shed a tear, because when you get your background pulled, or when you going up to something and they say, yeah, okay, that's great. We just got to run this background real quick. Your first mindset is,
Yeah.
All right, well, this is a wrap. You know what I'm saying? I'll see y'all later, or I can't
Exactly,
get in this
man.
crib, or I can't move
Hey, I
here.
swear, man.
I can't get in this crib. I can't get in this apartment. So now you got to look for people that's felony friendly, and
I swear,
it just changes your whole life, man. So a lot of times, that's why you see brothers just going right back, because the options are so limited. Once you get that first F on your report card, it's hard. You know what I'm saying? I've been broke for 10 years behind an F on my report card. I ain't broke like I'm broke, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't been able to achieve what I really wanted to achieve in life because of the mistakes that I've made before. So to find another way around that is amazing. And a lot of brothers that do that, and any brother that I see taking care of themselves, living their life with F on a report card and doing it the right way, I just want to congratulate you, because it's not easy. It's probably the hardest thing for a black man in America, is to make it in America and navigate with that F on your report card.
It is, man. I swear it is, man. Cause and then some Fs, you get 3 of them. They created that. You get 3 of them. In some places, you done.
Yeah.
So it's real hard. So I just want to say also, along with you, for the young men watching and listening, just if it's hard, but just don't give up. Keep striving. I'm living proof, man. There was times, man, where I wanted to give up and was just on my last limb, and but the key to not giving up, I'm not gonna front with you all. The key to not giving up is to allow it to beat you down to you gonna take them punches. You gonna take them bruises.
Right.
You gotta take them.
Right.
You take them. They gonna just like, it's almost like holding a lighter to your hand, and you don't want to. You do it.
Right.
I mean, you gotta hold that lighter to you. You can't get around it. You gonna feel that pain, and just know it. And just know it's gonna be there. Even when it get good, it's coming back around. Like, even for me, things is going good, this and that. And guess what? It ain't always gonna be like that. But I just build my shield now.
And life is a roller coaster. A lot of people don't understand. It's ups and downs
That's what
the
I'm saying,
whole time, man. So don't ever get too down, because it's going to go back up. And don't ever get too high, because you're going to go back down. DJ Double OG. Oh, we got Savitty in the building. That one was black and fresh, man. I appreciate you coming up here, man, and chopping it up with us for all, man. I appreciate it. It's Double OG Radio. You got any last words before we get up out of here, man, that you want to say,
man,
to St. Paul, East Side, West Side, Frogtown?
Well, I just want to say, man, keep on with y'all grind. The most important thing, like, never let nobody put an expiration date on your grind, because I got haters, or you old, you too, they ain't, man, I done heard it all. So don't ever let nobody put an expiration date on your grind, your passion, and go stream Twin City-ish, and Who Are We Really is out on all store platforms, and the video Twin City-ish is on YouTube. Go ahead and check that out. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. And look forward to more things that I got coming, man. I'm just gonna keep it coming for y'all. And from Twin City to Frogtown to the East Side, everywhere around here. Shout out to y'all, man. That's what I'm doing. I'm holding it down for us. And just keep your head up with that. Don't ever give up, no matter how hard. If you end up with 20 mugshots and all that, just keep grinding, man,
going.
and use them as a good thing.
Yes, sir. Turn it around. It's DJ Double OG. SAVITTY. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Just Google SAVITTY. Apple Music,
Yes, sir.
Spotify, all of them.
Yes, sir.
SAVITTY. We out of here, man. I appreciate the love.
Ya iyo we hamu ona nyere ndumu hunu ekele jinigi yo otito sorogi yo
94.1 FM, St. Paul, home of Frogtown Community Radio.
WFNU is a volunteer-run station made up of many different community voices. Each program expresses one aspect of that diversity and not the views of WFNU or Frog